thinking more about what the right result would look like. One thing that is, I find often hard to, get around is looking at process versus outcome. So I had a client who asked me for information on customer surveys. And I could have just taken that question and run with it because that sounds really straightforward. How, tell me more about how to do good customer surveys. When I asked what they would do with the results, then she said, well, we're having troubles retaining our customers and we want to be able to find out what their issues are. Really big, different question. So she was looking at the process, what she needed in order to help retain clients, rather than the outcome that she wanted. She thought she was helpful to me by asking for customer surveys, but what she really wanted was customer retention. And sure enough, these are the results that I got from looking for customer surveys. And yeah, it was all specifically about techniques for writing the surveys. But when I looked for customer retention, I got a lot more useful information for her. Some of them were about how to do surveys, but they put that in a larger context of what you need to know and do in order to retain customers. So make sure if a customer asks you something that's process oriented, make sure that you're clear on whether they actually want that process or they want to focus more on the outcome of that process, and you can address that information need as well. Thinking about the ways that the answer would be worded. This was another real life example I had. We do a lot of oil and gas mining in Colorado, so there's often questions about it's called fracking or hydraulic fracturing. It's a way of extracting more oil out of the ground, and there's wastewater involved, and it's a big deal. If you look for the industry phrase hydraulic fracturing versus the common, the just average person on the street who would often use the word fracking, you get substantially different results. I mean, it's radically different. This is not a synonym issue that Google would do. Looking for these different words gets you completely different sources. So when I use the industry phrase hydraulic fracturing, number one, I start out with scholarly articles, and the other materials I get are from professional journals and other industrial sources, one from the EPA. So these are all sort of technical articles about the process. Instead, when I searched for the word fracking, what most of us use, and even shows up in newspapers, I got more consumer/news oriented sources, which is a very different take on the issue. So the way I worded the question very much determined the universe of answers that were accessible to me.